Welcome to the seventh in a series of Weston Historical Society videos commemorating the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution, produced with the help of Weston Media Center. In Episode 5, we saw sentiment in Weston shifting. The town finally formed a committee of correspondence. 3 prominent Patriot leaders were chosen to attend the first Massachusetts Provincial Congress. From this point on, a military confrontation between the British regular army and the colonists grew increasingly likely. Many towns began to raise special volunteer companies that would train at least twice per week and be ready to answer an alarm at a minute's warning. In response, Elisha Jones raised one of the first military Tory Corps, one of only 3 communities to do so. The objective was, quote, to learn military skill to defend His Majesty's authority, close quote, and to protect the property and lives of the Loyalists. 55 Weston men enlisted in Elisha's company. Within a few months, 40 of them had signed retractions. 23 later joined one of the 2 Weston military companies. Elisha, in ill health, fled to Boston to seek the protection of the British Army, leaving behind his worldly possessions. He died in Boston just over a year later, disappointed and heartbroken. He adhered to his principles and had lost. His 6 properties in Weston and all his other real estate was later confiscated and sold at auction for the benefit of the government. Elisha Jones was Weston's only resident to have his property confiscated. The Massachusetts Provincial Congress set up a committee of supplies to purchase equipment sufficient for an army to take the field, stored principally in Concord and Worcester. They established a network of observers to keep watch on the British and carry the alarm if supplies were threatened. British General Gage became increasingly worried about these military preparations. Writing to London, he asked for more money and soldiers, but his request was denied. In February and March 1775, Gage sent his principal engineer, Ensign Henri de Bernier, along with Captain John Brown, out into the countryside to gain information about roads, encampment sites, and location of military supplies. Arriving in Weston, they stopped for a drink at the Golden Ball Tavern and found that the landlord was, quote, not inquisitive, close quote. So they decided to spend the night. They reported, quote, we were not a little pleased to find on some conversation that he was a friend to government. He told us that he had been very ill-used by them some time before, but that since he had showed them that he was not to be bullied, they had left him pretty quiet, close quote. From this story, we see that Isaac retained his loyalist sympathies, but he was not prepared to follow his cousin to Boston. He kept a low profile and was able to continue operating his tavern.